not a YouTuber, just like making videos, and hopefully I can stay on YouTube this time. Now, what I want to talk about today is a movie I watched. It's called 1982. Now, this movie came out in 2013, and I'm saying, why am I just now finding out about this movie? It stars Hill Harper and Wayne Brady, among others, and the movie's called 1982 because it was going into the beginning of the crack epidemic. So it's a timepiece movie, and I kind of like movies that take place in the 80s because their style is is different and so forth. Gangster rap hasn't really taken over everything. But it's about a Hill Harper's character, a hard-working man, a piker's man, who's trying to raise his daughter, and who has a wife that is basically, she's for the streets, and she has a history of being in the streets, and he wants to make her into a wholesome housewife and a mother, and she seems to want to neglect her motherly responsibilities for that crack pipe. And there's an interesting scene in that movie where Hill Harper's character didn't know what it was. He was asking a friend, like, you know what this is? And he says, yeah, that's crack cocaine. Because, back in 1982, there are so many people are just now getting hip to it. And you don't see movies this often. We see movies like Precious or Baby Boy, where you got the strong black woman and you got the unstable black male who is still dilly-dallying in the streets and so forth, and they kind of have this sort of troublesome relationship, playing tug-of-war with their feelings and their emotions, and of course Hill Harper's character will be called a simp or a Captain Save-A-Hole by our standards. But let's face it, this is reality. There are so many black men in this same predicament. Hard-working black men who want that family life, and they may have made a poor choice when selecting a mate, but at the same time he's he was trying to change or whatever, because it wasn't when the movie first starts out. Yeah, we know that. She's kind of on drugs. She's kind of sort of being combative with him, argumentative, not seeing things eye to eye. And then you find out, man, she got a history. She got a history with that drug dealer. So he knows that. Hill Harper's knows that, hey, when he chose her, she probably was not the girl next door. But a lot of black men do it, so we have to go into it. And we don't see movies like this often. You have Wayne Brady. He plays a drug dealer. Yeah, imagine that. But I think this movie is our color purple. He's trying to be a good father. He's trying to raise his daughter. This is the movie this is our color purple. This is our Baby Boy. And I'm not saying Baby Boy was a bad movie, but still it played in. We need to see more movies like this. Now I'm gonna go into something else. I read somewhere that that black men's abandonment of their children is unprecedented throughout human history here in America. That means going back to the Ming Dynasty or the Ottoman Empire, you're not going to see this level of single mother households. But this is a deception, because on the other hand, black men are more likely than any other race to have relationships with women with children, to be stepfathers. So, mind blown. Please make this make sense. How is it on one hand black men are abandoning their responsibilities, abandoning their children, and on the other hand black men are most likely to date women who have kids to be stepfathers. You know, that just one thing literally cancels the other thing out. But nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about black men's, because the thing is, in other cultures, women having kids out of wedlock, let's say, is considered very shameful. I know that, you know, this scenario is rising among white Americans, but, you know, you're dealing with Chinese, Japanese, over in Africa and so forth, you know, and I'm not talking about polygamous relationships. I'm like, this is really shameful. But women here do it in America because they don't feel that it will be a hindrance or a hiccup for them to find a quality man. Now, I'm not one of them guys beating on my chest screaming Negro manosphere, saying that, oh, I'm not going to date a single mother. But, you know, I understand what they're coming from. If black men didn't date women who had offspring by other men, it may cause the rate of unwed mothers to go down, at least in the seeable future. You know, so that's the thing. You know, the foreseeable future. But still, a lot of black men, we don't like to talk about it, have low self-esteem or feel like we have shortcomings because we don't have a whole lot of money. We're not a sexual Adonis. We don't have a big mandingo penis. And a lot of women are like, you're going to give up? You're going to pass up on all this? You know, because I have a kid? And they're going to say, and women are going to look at us like, well, what options do you have? You know, especially if you're a 9-to-5 guy. Hell, the 9-to-5 black men are being looked at as leopards in the black community. But America is made up of these small towns. That's what makes up America. These small farm towns where people are getting by on welfare. Families not only just getting by on welfare, but they're working at Walmart and Speedway. That's why when you go into these white towns or whatever, you may have like everybody's working at a factory or a penitentiary or working at Walmart or working at fast food. Them jobs are more valuable for it, you know, and so forth. You know, that's what helps run America and so forth. But you know, that's the situation. I'm not saying I won't date single mothers, because I have, but I'm gonna leave it out on this note, on what a single mother said to me, the one I've dated. She said that I like having children, but I don't like the knuckleheads that come with them. And you can guess who the knuckleheads are. But thanks for watching, and never stop learning.